Welcome to a series of short but powerful videos for demystifying situational problems brought to you by MaST and Dean. The ultimate goal of the series is to provide practical solutions as well as to inspire and empower you to make the most of situational problems with your students. You can go through this series in order or jump around to the topic that interests you the most. Let's get started with the million-dollar question. What is a situational problem? It's not a typical problem-solving exercise. So what is it? It's so much more than that. It's a problem that should challenge, excite, and spark curiosity. In situational problems, students are seen as a problem solver where they must think and find ways of arriving at a possible solution. The great thing about these problems is that there are multiple ways to arrive at a solution and multiple solutions possible. In a situational problem, the situations are created so that multiple concepts and processes are seen in a new way. The instructions given to the students do not suggest a procedure that they must follow, and students are not provided with information about the essential knowledge to be used throughout the problem. Finally, the given situation focuses on obstacles that the student must overcome, which encourages and leads to the process of inquiry and the use of various strategies to solve the problem. So you might be thinking, where does this fit into my math program? Situational problems fall under competency 1, to solve a situational problem. The goal of this competency is to build students' problem-solving abilities in ways that can easily translate to real-life puzzles, challenges, and dilemmas. Here are the key features that make up the competency. Decode the elements, where students learn to select relevant information, define the task being asked of them, and predict results. Model the situational problem, where students learn to link the situation to their own experience, design a plan, and represent the situation in a way that works for them. Apply different problem-solving strategies, where students learn to select and apply the correct mathematical concepts and processes related to the task. Validate the solution, where students learn to check their solution to see if it makes sense. Share information about the solution, where students learn how to show and share their strategies and thinking. A question that comes up a lot is, how do I know if a problem is a situational problem? When trying to answer this question, think of situational problems as your favorite meal. The recipe will include many ingredients, some necessary and some that are nice to have. Situational problems are very similar, as they include many ingredients that make up the problem. We like to call them look-fors. Here are the ingredients or look-fors that make up a situational problem. Situational problems should include multiple concepts. These concepts can be from a current or past unit, as well as concepts seen in previous years of study. This helps students build connections and strengthens their understanding. The numbers used in the problem are meant to challenge and push students' thinking at an appropriate level. The problem should include different types of representations, such as texts, drawings, tables, and graphs. Not only will this help enrich the problem, but will also encourage students to decode. Since we want students to validate their solution, it is important for the math to be used naturally so that the context and the answers make sense to the student. We also want to include a puzzle aspect, where students will be encouraged to explore and make decisions related to the task. While making decisions, they will need to keep in mind the constraints that can have an impact on their solution. Usually, the situational problem will allow for different ways of solving it. Since decisions will be made throughout the problem, there will be more than one solution possible, which can support discussions about the choices students have made throughout. Situational problems can range in complexity, but remember, as in a recipe, you can play around with the ingredients. It's important to point out that expectations will be different for each cycle, as students are at different developmental stages. A student in cycle 1 is at the beginning stages of learning how to solve a situational problem. So they will be learning how to identify relevant information and how to relate this information to the task being asked of them. They will also learn how to model and apply different strategies. The students in cycle 2 will have had experience solving these problems. So they will move on to learning how to identify implicit information and continue to increase their ability to develop models and apply a variety of strategies. These students will learn how to describe their steps and explain how they went about their work. In cycle 3, students will learn how to decode problems that involve recognizing situations in which information is missing. They should move towards independently developing models and come up with strategies to solve the problem. It's so important to incorporate situational problems into your teaching because the real world rarely serves up all the information needed to problem solve in one tidy package. There's rarely only one possible method or strategy to solve real life problems. You don't always know for sure if the solution that you arrived at is the best one or the right one. And there are no answers at the back of the book for those kind of problems. This video covered the ins and outs of what a situational problem is. If you need some additional support with situational problems, please reach out to your math consultant. Check out the other videos in our series for more information about situational problems.